I took out my 6-week-old braids, and this is how much of my hair came out. Send help.
What up, everybody? I am the Mademoiselle, and this is my channel. I had to take a little bit of a break because a bitch didn't have a voice. So shout outs to all you guys that were wishing me well, especially for those guys on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, I'm not really understanding. Go follow me. It's always on the screen. It's always linked down below. Also, please make sure to join the Patreon for extra content as well as early access. I also have multiple channels. Make sure you check that out down below as well. As you guys can tell by today's title, we're actually going to be reacting to people claiming that protective styles broke their hair off, mainly braids. Now, I want to definitely preface this video with saying that I actually just found out that Kanekalon hair is pretty dangerous. Like, literally, it's been linked to many different illnesses, allergies, and stuff like that. So for those of you guys who have clicked on this video and you're thinking about getting braids, or you consistently get braids, be very, very careful about the hair that you use. There has been so many people out there sharing their stories about the sicknesses, the baldness, and all the different situations they've gone through with using Kanekalon hair or synthetic hair as their braiding hair. And I really want you guys to be careful. Before we even get into this, comment down below. Have you ever had braids that broke off your hair? I would love to hear your stories down below. But without further ado, let's get into the reaction. You know, my voice is gone, so I have my water here. Let me know, what are you guys snacking on? What you sipping on?
So I want to have a little discussion because I feel like I'm one of the queens of knotless braids. And, you know, it's summertime. We put our little knotless braids in. We rock the knotless braids all summer. And as much as I love knotless braids, it's popping my hair. It's breaking my hair. Like last year, and I didn't want to like give it much attention because I love them so much. Last year, went to my hairstylist to get my silk press. Hair ate up. Right in the middle in the back. Can we talk about it? It's not giving protective style.
So let's just talk about this real quick, right? What y'all need to understand is the term protective style was mainly for lesser tensioned styles. Like, that term was coined back before the boho, the knotless, the Fulani, or whatever. And it's interesting because I never really heard too many people talking about hair breakage until these newer braids started becoming more popular. They were always a thing, but you know, they weren't necessarily as popular or something that most people were getting until, you know, people over here on the West started getting them. Obviously, in Africa and many other countries, people were getting these braids. But when it came to like us over here in the Black American or African diaspora, when we started getting it, that's when I really started hearing about people like, oh my God, my hair's breaking, my hair's breaking, my hair's breaking. And it's interesting because honestly, we all started out with box braids, right? A lot of us, even me, I box braided my locks at least 3 separate times. It helped my hair grow a lot. However, you need to understand the term protective style is such a loose term because you have to actually protect your hair under. You can't just be out here getting protective styles, getting braids, getting all types of stuff to cover your hair up consistently, and you acting like you protecting something. Your hair needs to breathe. Your scalp needs to breathe. When you are constantly covering it up with braids and wigs and all this other extra stuff, your hair is going to eventually break off. Additionally, not everyone's hair can handle braids. For those of you guys with finer hair, anything like outside of like that 3, even the 3s is pushing it. Okay, very much so pushing it. Like, anybody without 4 type hair is susceptible to hair loss. Anybody is, right? When it comes to the braids. But if you have looser, thinner hair, those are the people I've always seen. Okay, I always see like, oh my God, this made my hair break off. It's very subjective. It depends on your hair type, your porosity, how often, the braiding hair, the braider. There are so many different things that go into why your hair might be breaking off with braids. But one thing's for sure, and one thing's for certain, no one should be out here getting braids every day. Like, your hair should not be covered like 90% of the year. That's just not healthy for anyone.
I just took out my braids, and this happened. That's all my hair. Is it normal to have this much hair loss?
No hairstyle has ever humbled me like these goddess braids. Because why do I turn around and I see that my curl has fallen off in the middle of Target? Don't give no warning, no alert. Just be in public, half the head on the floor.
Time to take the braids out. I know y'all literally just see me talk about putting them in, but look. Okay, first of all, I got lazy and stopped tucking, so that's a problem. But that's not even the main problem because I was fixing those, okay? The problem is this. Look at this. Literally, these white dots you see are my literal hair follicles from my scalp. Like, who knows how thin my edges really are because I'm losing hairs. And I'll sometimes just pick them out. I don't know. Just know on the sides, it's the worst. And it's because I always take these pieces and I tie back all of my braids with them because I don't like how they look down in my face. And I miss my curls. I miss my curls. So we're taking them out right now. Should have just stopped and ate some tacos before I did this because I'm actually really hungry. But I'm here, so now I'm dedicated and we're gonna do it together. So my hair's not that long because I recently cut it. So I'm trying to figure out like where to cut it. I feel like here is safe because that's probably like how long my hair is. And when it's braided, it's definitely not gonna be that long. Actually, we should take this one out first so we can see how many hairs actually are out of my head. Oh, these scissors are horrible. I accidentally stole them from a hotel in Miami. I literally did not mean to do that. Part of me wants to like send them back, but I don't know. Would that be weird? Would they be like, really, this girl returned our scissors in the mail? But I feel bad because they're not mine. Son got out the bed. Like, go to bed. All these hairs, I'm about to watch them come out my head. I'm just waiting for it. I want to show you guys. Okay, perfect. So obviously the braiding hair is out, but you can still see. So look, now is the perfect time to see that all these are just hairs. Look at that. Those are the hairs that came out my head and my hair follicles attached to them. That is so sad. And there's more. There's still more that you could just pull out. All the edge control. But now I'm going to be able to see all the hairs. Look. Look at that. Those are all of my hairs from this one section. Oh my gosh. That is so sad. Thankfully, like, it doesn't look that much thinner. Thank the Lord for thick hair, but still more. Like, y'all, that is so sad. All of this just from this one section of hair. That's so sad. I mean, all I can do is laugh at this point because, like, it's already out. Like, what are you gonna do? You know, we don't cry over lost hair over here. You know, once it's gone, it's just gone, and you just have to do what you have to do. Wait, is that my hair? No, that can't be. Can't be. Look at this, y'all. When you have braids, just be very, very careful of the tension on your scalp. Usually, it starts happening, like, not when the braids are actually, like, tight. At first, like, usually this type of tension happens from pulling the hair up once the braids have started to grow out some and they have a little bit more give. Then pulling on this and causing that tension causes those hairs to be pulled out. And so that is part of the problem here. And I saw it happening. Like, I really did honestly see it happening. I was just kind of like, look at this. You see that? Y'all, be careful out here.
Okay, y'all get the gist, okay? Let me just say straight up, right? Everybody knows that braids cause tension. I would hope, right? It's causing tension on your hair. It's pulling on your hair. So let's just say flat out, right? We need to understand that when we're getting braids, it is putting tension on our hair. It is pulling on our hair. It is probably not the best thing for many of us to do. And even if we do, it should only be temporary. Now, I noticed that somebody I was watching not too long ago was saying like, yeah, like that's why people with locks, their hair be thinning, da 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 da. And it's like, um, child, I know people that have had locks their entire life and it's not thinning. My hair is never thinned. Not one of my locks have ever fell out of my head. I've also had braids over my locks. I will say the last time that I had braids over my locks was for a wedding. And I will say that when I got them braided, they thinned my hair. Like my locks became thinner. And I mean, I guess like aesthetically it's cool, but like I liked having thicker locks, but it just is what it is. Braids can really shape your hair, either for the good or for the bad. When I was a loose natural, I wore braids, all the time, not like all year round, but maybe once or twice a year, depending. And it definitely did help my hair. But there were times where I would get box braids and it just was not the best thing. Like I could see my hair coming out from the root, like this last girl that we just watched. And I will say that we need to also have a lot of common sense and think here. So we lose about 50 to 100 strands of hair a day. Okay. What do you think happens when you have it braided? What do you think all of this is? This is all dead hair, okay? Your hair after the root is mostly dead, okay, in general. For those of us with locks, like all of this is dead. That's why our hair grows so much faster than everyone else because we're not experiencing that shedding and that hair loss. If you are out here having locks falling out your head and extensive shedding like that, from you washing your hair or styling your hair, there's something wrong. You need a new loctician. You need new products. You need a new shampoo, oil. I don't know. Your hair shouldn't be doing that with locks, okay? But when it comes to the loose natural people out there that get braids and they're experiencing this type of breakage, there's a difference between breakage and shedding. You're losing hair every day. It is braided up. Obviously, a lot of hair is going to come out. The difference is when you are shedding, okay, it's going to be like long pieces of hair because your hair is shedding, like it's coming out the follicle type vibe, right? But breakage is little breaking pieces of hair. It's little like confetti pieces of hair. If you taking your hair out, all like how do I explain it? If you're taking your hair out or you're combing your hair, whatever, and you're just seeing like bits and pieces of hair falling out, then you need to be worried. But typically shedding is very normal. And I don't understand why people be so surprised when they see their hair just like sliding out or, if they see clumps of hair come out with their braids. Now, obviously, some people it's excessive and they need to go to a better braider. They need to lay off the braids because there's no reason you should be having your hair braided 365. But for a lot of us, it's literally just shedding. It's not breakage, it's shedding. Okay. And additionally, I also think that something needs to be said about not only people with looser texture hair getting braids, knowing damn well it's not for them, from the white girls to the Hispanic girls to the girls with the 2A, 3B hair. Something also needs to be said about the braiders that you go to. Not everybody can braid. Not everybody could do hair. Not everybody knows the proper hair to use for whatever hair type, the type of tightness that needs to be used for whatever type of braid, the length, the amount. Like there's so many different things. A lot of people think, oh, well, I could braid, I could start doing hair. No, there's so many different factors that go into this. There's so many different things that can happen when you're braiding people's hair, such as breakage, that you need to know what you're doing. We give too many people grace and let everybody do hair, everybody do everything, and we don't care because, oh, well, we need our hair done. My hair can't possibly be out. And I feel like a lot of this has to do with self-hatred. A lot of this has to do with the fact that a lot of us feel like, oh, well, our hair has to be straight. It has to be down. It has to be acceptable to corporate America's needs and in school and society. And it's like, y'all are about to be bald-headed and wearing wigs and braids for the rest of y'all fucking life if y'all don't tighten the fuck up. Like, we need to start embracing our natural hair and other natural hairstyles and put less focus on covering it. Okay, and I know a lot of people are not going to like what I'm saying, but that's really part of the problem. Like, part of the problem is the fact that a lot of us feel like we have to get the braids, we have to get the wig, we have to do this, we have to do that. And at the end of the day, you don't. You feel like you need to because it makes you more accepted. Fuck acceptance. At the end of the day, Shit not gonna change unless some people get real uncomfortable. What you think the ancestors did? What you think Martin Luther King died for? All right, that nigga lost his life. Okay, Martin Luther King lost his life trying to make change. Okay, doing something different. It's time that we start doing something different too. Instead of getting on TikTok, sitting there complaining that our hair is falling out. What the fuck did you expect?
Your hair is going to tell you when something is wrong and when something is right. So if you always having hair loss in the beginning and the end, it means there's too much tension in the beginning of the braid and the end of the braid. Now, the perimeter of our hair is the weakest part of our hair. So what's the first thing that's going to break? Especially with tension. So your hair is letting you know either it's too much tension or it cannot handle the cornrows at all. Got to pick another style. So I'll tell people it's best to listen to your hair because it'll tell you what's going on. If it's shedding, if it's breaking or, itching and dry, it's telling you something's going on. So yeah, just listen to it and just find some other hairstyles you may be able to do that does not cause a lot of tension.
I finally finished taking out my braids and look at all this shed hair. This shed hair is literally as big as my face. This is my 3 weeks worth of shed hair. What's crazy is I know I'm about to wash my hair and have even more shed hair.
I thought my hair was strong enough to withhold the pull of box braids. Apparently not. I had these for about a month and a half and I love the look. Like, I think it looks absolutely killer. But I realized that my hair is breaking off in the braids. So if you see these white pieces, that is not dandruff. That's actually like the root of the hair that was in my scalp that has come off and is just like being held there. All this is. I'm seriously gonna miss these. I'm not even kidding. Like, I love them so much. They're so low maintenance. They make me feel like Amanda Stenberg. They make me feel like Willow Smith. But come back tomorrow and I'm gonna take them out.
So what I just lost from styling, this was from the shampoo and conditioner process. And this was from taking out the braids and tangling with the pre-shampoo. So I'm gonna just combine it all so we can see a final tally. This is 5, almost 6 weeks of shed hair, which that is a lot of hair. That's a whole head of hair. But hey, it is what it is. No detangling for weeks on end. You do anticipate to lose a lot of hair.
You see, that's what I was saying. Like, that's normal, bro. Like, that's a normal amount of hair. When you see these people coming out with like hair, like is the size of their hair, like, nah, bro, we need to lay off the braids, baby, lay off the braids.
I use this braiding gel and a lot of my hair been coming out. Maybe I'm putting too much on my hair. I don't know. I want to cry. Someone help me.
Child, be careful what braiding hair you use, lock gel, all that. One time my loctician started using something different. Well, one time my stylist was using something different on my hair. It was like, it was spritz actually. Oh my God, when I'm telling you my hair hates spritz. Oh my God, the dandruff, the itching, the burning I felt after my hair got done was wild. So be careful. Sometimes it's just something small as a spritz, as a gel, as whatever. Sometimes it's not really the braid. Sometimes it is the braid. Sometimes it's the hair. Sometimes it's the stylist. Sometimes it's you.
Update. My hair is falling out. This is my hair. This is my braid. I don't know where it came from. Maybe up here. So I feel like I need to take them out so that my edges are not in complete ruins. Yeah, my daughter picked this up just now. This is my hair. It came straight out my head.
Child, I would cry. That is not supposed to happen. Like, you see her hair attached to that shit. That's how you know it was done entirely too tight. Or her hair just couldn't handle it. And that's just what a lot of us need to understand. Sometimes your hair just can't handle it. A lot of us think that just because we're black, and just because we're women, we're supposed to have braids. No, there's other protective styles, but you also have to take care of your hair under that. Like, there's no way that you're telling me you're just pulling up to the hair shop with no hair grease, no hair oil, no moisturizer, no nothing in your hair. Like, you cannot just wash your hair and go to the braid shop. Like, that's not, like, the whole point of protective style is to protect your hair underneath. If it's not properly moisturized, detangled, or whatever, It's not going to protect shit.
Welcome to episode 1 of talking to y'all like how I talk to my clients, because I be trying to be all professional on here and then just letting y'all know information, but I'm about to talk to y'all like how I be talking to my clients. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about why you should not be wearing braids 24/7, especially small, knotless, butt length, X, Y, and Z. Okay, so I'm going to give y'all the analogy like how I give to my clients that I just made up in my head, because I was like, that makes sense. So do y'all know when y'all see people with locks and they've had locks for a very long time, and they've had these locks for a very long time, and then eventually as like they locks grow longer and they get older, you can tell they have thinning at the top. And that's because locks are basically dead hair, y'all, and they just weigh your hair down of weight that wasn't naturally meant for you in the first place. And imagine continuously doing this, and you're doing this with knotless braids, boho knotless, and they're more lightweight than regular box braids, yes. But imagine you continuously doing this 24/7. You're getting 4 things of knotless, 2 things of knotless a year, and you have all that extra weight on your hair, and it's just pulling and pulling and pulling. That is why we say y'all need to take a break on braids. Braids are not healthy, especially if your hair is not strong enough to handle that. You're gonna end up bald. It's not being mean. We just don't want y'all to end up bald, y'all.
Yeah, y'all. So this is the video that I was talking about. Yeah, she's true. Like, it's right, but there's a lot more that goes into it. Now, it's funny, right? I feel like a lot of us, we see these stylists make these videos and we think that they're just saying this so they could get some bread, or, you know, so they could get some clients. She's right to an extent, right? I will say the only people I've seen who had locks that were falling out or whatever are people that were genuinely not taking care of it. People think that when you get locks, oh, you just don't do nothing. You don't maintenance, you don't moisturize, you don't condition, you don't wash your hair. No. The reason my hair got this long, okay, my shit is down to my, my boob, under my boob. It's out of the camera frame. My hair got this long because I took care of it. I got my hair styled every 6 to 8 weeks. I still get my hair styled every 6 to 8 weeks. I wash it, again, every 6 to 8 weeks. So, I condition my scalp. I make sure that I do listen to my hair. I wear it up when it needs to be up. I wear it down when it needs to be down. One thing for me, I've never had that everybody with locks, like, not everybody, but most people with locks always talk about is their hair being heavy. My hair never feels heavy unless I have it in a top heavy style. Like, y'all have seen my hair over the years. Usually I have my hair styled up. Like, I'll have like, I've had the petals. I've had like the 2 little things. That style was lit. That, my head felt heavy in that. But obviously, if your hair is at the top of your head and it's being twisted, it's going to feel heavy. Right now, my hair in this bun doesn't feel heavy. Other than that, my hair has never felt heavy. If your hair feels heavy, it's because it is not the right size. A lot of us think that we know best, right? We go to the stylist like, hey, I want these parts. I want small locks. I want big locks. I want this. I want that. That's probably not for your hair. A lot of us, again, just like with the braids, we think, oh, well, I'm black, I could have locks. It's for me. Not everybody's hair can withstand a lock. On top of that, not all locks are for you. I have very thick hair. Therefore, I needed thick locks. If I had thin locks, this probably wouldn't even be possible. I wouldn't be able to pull it in a bun, ponytail, any of that, because my hair is way too thick to have small locks. It happened to me every single time I got braids. I would always get like the small, medium, like the medium braids, and I could never put them in a ponytail because it was just too much hair. It was too many hair follicles being split into too many hair braids trying to be put into this big, massive thing. And it's the same thing with locks or any other individual hairstyle. You have to have the right size for you, or else it's going to pull on your hair and you're going to go bald. The other types of people that I've seen that have had locks that have done that are people who like literally just don't do shit. They're getting like 2 retwists a year. What the fuck do you think is gonna happen? You still have to take care of your hair when it's in locks. Like, it's just common sense.
All damage from boho braids. This is part 2.
Jesus.
So right here was past bra strap. She went on vacation, got her some cute boho braids. They was beautiful. But you gotta be careful of the braider. Sometimes it's the braider, sometimes it's the hair, sometimes it's just you. Sometimes you're not hydrating your braids and allowing them to get dry and brittle and break. Sometimes you're allowing the wrong person to remove your braids from your hair. Or sometimes it's the braider. They're dipping your hair in the hot water. Ends up our hair is more fragile because it's the oldest hair on our head. They cutting up the braid, using all that edge control on the entire braid, which is very, very drying to the hair. Either way, I know her situation for sure because she came 2 months prior and I've been doing her hair for years. On top of years. We never ran into this issue. This was her first time getting boho braids. So yeah, we had to cut it pretty short. We went in and did layers because she grew her layers out a few years ago. Her hair just been bone straight, just flat. So this is the perfect time to give her layers back.
Yeah, overall, like I said, you have to be very, very careful. Especially when I see like a lot of these girls with like super duper long hair getting braids. I'm just like, why? Like, I think it would be safer for you to wear a wig than for you to wear braids because one, you run the risk of cutting your hair when you're taking it down. Two, there's too much of your hair to ruin. When you have short hair, you ain't got much to lose, but you already have long, healthy hair and you're going to get braids. You don't know what the fuck the braider's using. A lot of times we're not paying attention. Okay, sometimes they use jam. Sometimes they actually do use edge control like this lady said. That should not be on all of your hair. Like I've seen them do it where they just gel up your whole hair and then braid it. That like, do y'all really think that's healthy? Like be fucking for real, you know? So it's just like when I see these girls with this super long, healthy hair getting braids, I'm just like, why? Not saying that braids are just for unhealthy hair or a certain type of hair, but I'm saying like, depending on your situation, you really have to think. Like, do I want this style to grow my hair? Do I want this style because I don't want to take care of my hair, do my hair or whatever? Do I want this style because I keep seeing it on social media? Whatever it is that your reason is, make sure you go to a real experienced braider or you learn to do it yourself. But even at that, I've seen people pull out their own hair while trying to do their braids or whatever. So like, be very, very careful. Don't just sit there doing any and everything. Like not everybody could do everything. Like I feel like we should let the professionals do whatever, but we all know these hairstylists are very unprofessional. Okay, so if you are going to learn, make sure you're doing the right things. Again, heed what I said about the Kanekalon hair. That shit is not healthy, apparently. Do your own research. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so very much. Again, thank you so much for all the well wishes. I hope to see you on my other channels. They're going to be linked down below. I have a Haitian channel as well as a personal channel. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. And I'm going to see y'all next time. Bye!